Any other question?
Yeah, would you somehow connect this thing that is called now LA style to hip hop, or this thing that is called LA style, or it's something like completely?
I'm glad you asked. Would I connect what they call the LA style with hip hop? First, let me explain something. When you talk about LA style, you are talking about locking, popping, crumping, and whacking. That is LA style. You're talking about Hollywood style. Because they took it wrong. I've been in LA. LA is a ghetto. If you tell the people in the hood what LA style is, they're gonna think you're crazy. LA style is popping, locking, and whacking. Now it's crumping too. The Hollywood style, which is a choreography style, is a beautiful style. We don't hate other dance styles. That's not our job. We're dancers. One dance should never hate another dance. But when I started traveling and people started telling me to my face, Mr. Wiggles, you're not hip hop. You gotta go to the millennium. They teach real hip hop. That's when I have a problem. Now that's all studio and Hollywood exploitation. Let me explain. What they call the LA style is really street jazz, urban jazz, jazz funk. It's a beautiful style. It's in the music video Beat It with Michael Jackson, when Michael Peters used boogaloo moves with jazz. It's in the movie West Side Story, when they use the latest street dances mixed with jazz. It's a very famous style. Bob Fosse helped father it. That's why Michael Jackson did all of Bob Fosse's moves. It's a real style, but it's not hip hop. It borrows from hip hop, and you could say street jazz uses hip hop. That's the truth. There's elements of hip hop, the hip hop attitude. Motherfuckers from the suburbs, acting all ghetto. But it's street jazz, and it's a cool term. In Japan, they've been calling it street jazz for a long time. It got confusing with Hollywood, because if a street jazz choreographer was offered $20,000 to choreograph a video, and they said, well, we want hip hop, the street jazz dancer wasn't gonna get a hip hop dancer. They said, I can do it. And then they do this bullshit, bogus hip hop. But they use street jazz. That's when it got confusing, and that's how it got exploited. And that's the truth. Not here to burn bridges or hurt feelings. If you teach this style, just call it what it is. It's a beautiful term and a beautiful style. Street jazz has a long history. Lester Wilson, Michael Peters, Bob Fosse, who else? Frank Hatchett. These are great dancers that did street jazz. Look them up, okay? We cool? You don't hate me? Y'all not gonna kick my ass when I get outside? It's the truth. It's better to learn the truth, move on with it, tell the studio owner, look, I can't call my class hip hop. There's a whole bunch of motherfuckers from the Bronx, they're gonna kick my ass. Gotta call the street chat. No, I'm just joking. Another question? Another question? Oh, right there, brother. Good question. He asked, is rocking from Brooklyn and b-boying from the Bronx? No. Rocking is from all of New York. But from rocking came the Bronx style, which we call breaking. And in the Brooklyn style, they had the jerk. It's just two styles that came from the universal New York dance of rocking. If rocking has a home, it's really Manhattan. Manhattan was the home base for everyone to party. All of the boroughs, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, Staten Island, we all partied in Manhattan. And that's where all the dances were coming from. But when we took it to our home, the Bronx developed breaking, what we call down rocking or floor rocking. In Brooklyn, they called it up rocking, and they had a dance they developed called the jerk. Now that's for Brooklyn, the jerk. All of the city did rocking though. One of the original rockers, one of the greatest, is from the Bronx. His name is Rubber Band. He died in 1974. They killed him. He took rocking all over the city and battled, but it's an all-city dance. elements come together in hip hop? Well, it was normal street culture in New York. That's just what we did. Most of the b-boys I knew were writers. We didn't say graffiti, we said a writer, because we write our name. We didn't say graffiti or graffiti artists. We were writers. Most of the b-boys could grab a mic like me and drop a verse like that. In my time, everybody had a rhyme. It was just normal Bronx activities. Everybody had a record collection. Everybody could get on the well, not everybody. Whoever had the money to buy turntables could mix. We did everything. So it was a natural progression. But then you also had dudes that were only what we call a fly guy. A fly guy means they were only about fashion. So you had a fly guy. That's hip hop too. Fashion, you know. I don't say 4, 5, 6, 7 elements. You had kids that were stick-up kids. And believe it or not, the stick-up, you know what a stick-up is, right? Stick-up? A stick-up is when you rob somebody for their money. A stick-up is like a gangster. Stick-up kids were everywhere. That's why you see them post up like this. People think that that's just a cool dance move. It's what we call a hard rock. When you go to a party, the stick-up kids will be right here, looking at your sneaker, your chain, your hat, your sneaker, your buckle, and thinking how I'm gonna get this motherfucker right here. So if you had nice sneakers, they might be chilling, and they stand right next to you. Puff out. And this is called the yoke. This is Universal, Bronx, New York, Brooklyn, Manhattan, the yoke. You see it in hip hop all the time. We laugh because that means a choke, a hard choke. And when the sound that they make goes, gah! But this is hip hop. I'm not joking. That's why at Up Rock you see them go. In rockin', they do a lot of yokes, headlock. This was a hard rock, a stick-up kid. So when you're dancing and you go, now you know what it means. There's a lot more knowledge like that. Yeah. Good question. He said, can you tell us about other hip-hop styles like in Atlanta? Well, all I'm gonna say is this. Hip-hop dance is any dance done to hip-hop music. So you can't dance to Lady Gaga and really call yourself hip-hop. It just doesn't make sense. Me, Ken Swift, and Brian Green, we were at this event and they wanted us to judge. And when we went to judge, the song was Lady Gaga. And we were in shock. It said hip hop contest. Ken Swift, Mr. Wiggles, Brian Green. Like, yo, the next song was Madonna. We were pissed off. So, any dance done to hip hop music, the Dougie, jerking, you hear, now you got crumping, and then you got the Get Light coming out of Harlem, you got elements of flexing. I mean, there's new street dances all the time born, and there's a lot of them done to hip hop music, and it's hip hop. That's hip hop. Anything done to hip hop music, created from hip hop music. And when we say hip hop, it's hard to create in the studio. It's created in the street. In the street. That's where a lot of the dances come from. Anything else?
Beatbox battle!
Beatbox battle.
Naprawdę było nieźle. Ale zacznijmy może od wywołania jurorów. Darmi, nasz człowiek z Singapuru, wręczy nagrodę. Darmi!
Phoebe was a b-boy too. So was Sugar Pop. Generally, rock steady poppers are b-boys. When Sugar Pop came from California, I taught him how to b-boy. He became a b-boy and a popper. We called him a triple threat. A triple threat is when you can pop, lock, and break. So, and rock, quadruple threat. When you know all those styles, to us, that's for us Rocksteady. So Rocksteady's flavor is popping and boogaloo from West Coast with a b-boyish flavor, with a kind of a b-boy style. Sugar Pop was an amazing b-boy when we were young. Amazing. You again. Anybody before? Anybody else? Okay? King of Rock, his name is Ralph. He's from Dynasty Rockers. I didn't know him when we were young. I never seen him. The Brooklyn Rockers that I grew up with was a guy named Ringo. Ringo was from a group called Furious Rockers. Now he's from Mastermind Crew, an incredible rocker. But I met Ralph in the early 90s. He helped bring the Brooklyn style of rocking back. Everything was b-boy, 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 b-girl, b-girl, b-girl. He brought him and to me, Burn One from Brooklyn, helped bring back the Brooklyn style. So they deserve a lot of credit. And they should be traveling too and teaching the Brooklyn flavor. All right, y'all. Anything else? Then we gotta wrap it up. Oh. We're gonna have to cut this short. I can't compete unless I'm like, yo, we got a break to. I don't want to do that. No, in my opinion, when in a b-boy battle, it should be James Brown. In a party, break to anything you want. But we have a problem when you break to reggae or when you break to R&B. You know, there's a certain way to do it. If it's up to you as a creative person, we can't tell you what to do. In my opinion, it was done to break beats. Breaking. We break on the break. But there's a lot of hip-hop music. I'm not gonna say rap. Let's be real. Rap music is different from hip-hop music. DJ Premier, that's hip-hop. He's doing break beats on the drum machine. You understand? Pete Rock, that's hip-hop. I say break to all of that. But some of the other sounds that don't have the same James Brown funk does look a little weird. But that's opinion. As a dancer, do whatever makes you feel good, you know? But I generally say keep it with the James Brown break. Okay? Primo. Thank you, everybody. It was a great time. Thank you for partying with me. It was too much fun. Too much fun. Yeah. Take the party back to your club, to your neighborhood, to your studio. After you teach your class, turn down the lights and throw a little party and have fun.